Hello YouTube, Following S9 here, bringing you another Greatest Generals of the 20th Century video. This one's about Marshal Georgy Zhukov, Russian general, well, Soviet general actually. Well, both, but anyway, the same as last video, same setup as last video. Go through his ups, his downs, his achievements, his everything. Well, not everything, but the basics of his life. Alright, he was born on the December the 1st, 1896, in the Kaluga province in Russia somewhere. His family was poverty stricken, and he was classed as a peasant. He became an apprentice and worked as a furrier. I can't remember. I don't know how to say it. Before World War One started, he done this at age 12. He was in 1915. He was conscripted by the Russian Empire into World War One, in which he was awarded. During World War One, he was awarded the Cross of St. George. He operated amongst the 106th Reserve Cavalry Regiment, or also known as the 10th Dragoon Novgorod Regiment. After the Bolsheviks' victory in November 1917, he had joined the Red Army, which was in 1918 when he joined. In that time, he served as the 1st Cavalry Army, as a cavalry commander during the Russian Civil War of 1918 to 1921, which he was awarded the Order of the Red Banner for squashing the Tambov Rebellion in 1921. During the interwar years, Zhukov became commander of the 39th Cavalry Regiment, during which he was sent to the higher school of cavalry, where he learnt tactics about fast-paced or mobile cavalry and everything like that. He then went to the Fruits Military Academy in Germany, and he had graduated in 1931. During the years in between 1931 and 1938, he had progressed through different ranks and also commanded several different cavalry units. So you can already tell he's becoming more of a mobile commander than an infantry commander. In 1938, he commanded the operations around Mongolia and Manchukuo, in which, by using his tactics and techniques he developed, he was able to pin the Japanese 6th Army and surround it with an armored thrust of BT5s, sorry, and this led to the truce of the Japanese in 1939. During this short war, Zhukov was able to demonstrate the use of very important tactics, in which he used later in his military career, so during the future World War II. In 1940, he had transferred his command to the Kiev military district, and later in 1941 became the chief of staff. From what I can tell, a district is an army in modern terms, I guess. During the end of Operation Barbarossa, which brought the Soviets into war with Germany, Zhukov was in charge of the defenses of Leningrad in 1941. He was then, in the same year, was transferred to defending Moscow after it became threatened by German armies. in which by the end of 1941, he was able to fend off their attacks. And at the end of 1941, on the 5th of December, he was in command of a large counter-offensive of units sent from the Far East. He was able to push the Germans back from Moscow with the large counteroffensive, and then he was then promoted to deputy commander-in-chief to take charge of the defense of Stalingrad. Zhukov and Vasilevsky created a new counteroffensive named Operation Uranus, which was designed to encircle the German 6th Army inside Stalingrad, led by General von Paulus. As the flanks of the German flanks were quite they were quite weak, and thus Operation Uranus was a huge success and was able to annihilate the 6th German Army, along with the surrender of many of the troops. He then turned to Leningrad with another operation called Operation Spark. This allowed the siege of Leningrad to be lifted by January 1944. During the months preceding Leningrad, Zhukov oversaw Operation Bagration to clear Eastern Europe of the German armies. Being launched on the 22nd of June 1944, Bagration saw huge success by clearing most of Eastern Europe of the Germans, only stopping for supplies as they moved so quick they needed their supplies overextended. With Operation Bagration, Zhukov managed to defeat the Germans at Oder Neisse and Seelow Heights, and thus allowed Zhukov's men to reach and encircle Berlin. Although the assault on Berlin caused lots of casualties for both sides, Zhukov won the Battle of Berlin and was in Berlin personally for signing of one of the instruments of surrender on the 8th of May 1945. And this cemented that this cemented the idea of Zhukov being a man that never lost battles. Due to his huge successes in the Soviet campaign against Germany, Zhukov was allowed to inspect the victory parade in Moscow, which was a huge honor for the Soviets, or especially Zhukov. The post-war years were not as promising for Zhukov, as he was so popular amongst people. Stalin removed him from command of the occupational zone in East Germany because he threatened his popularity. When Stalin died in 1953, he assumed the deputy defense minister, and then later on became defense minister himself. A few years later, 1957, Zhukov was then removed from being a minister after he had an argument with the Soviet leader Khrushchev. After that, he was never to serve another political role again. Never wanted to. Georgy Zhukov died on June the 18th, 1974. So, all in all, Zhukov was probably one of the best commanders in the World War II, especially in the Soviet campaign. This is Farmington S9. I hope you liked my video. Like, subscribe, and hope you enjoyed.